The forecast has been calling for rain.
Hello, welcome back to another draft player analysis video.
When you have a downpour like this, of course it's going to affect the game.
The third time I've had to re-record this because people in my house do not know how to read and just absolutely love to walk into my basement while I'm recording and start talking to me. So, today I'll be doing Deforest Buckner, defensive end,
Miller's
Oregon.
Now is the running back behind the quarterback. Jordan Cameron with the catch.
Deforest Buckner, 6'7", 291 pounds. He was the Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year in 2015, a second-team All-American, and was a finalist for the Ted Hendricks Award.
Miller's the receiver on the screen.
My thoughts on Deforest Buckner before I get into my pros and cons.
Jim, if the receiver's open, throw him the football because
You can tell I really just am not in the mood to do this anymore.
If he can just break that tackle, they can pick up those extra yards. Good job by the quarterback and receiver that time.
1st and 10. It's Miller.
So,
Gets about 4
Deforest Buckner.
time.
Overall, I think he is a very, very good prospect. I have him ranked as my number 2 defensive end behind Joey Bosa, only because of Joey Bosa's production at the collegiate level is more consistent.
That's a ball that should have been caught.
I also forgot to go over his stats. 232 career tackles, 36 tackles for a loss, 18 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. Again, the only reason I have it is Bosa had a better overall collegiate career. He played in almost every single game. So I think he's an overall more complete prospect currently. But overall, I think Buckner will definitely develop into a better overall player. But Buckner, again, I didn't have a lot of prior knowledge on him. Again, I live on the East Coast. I don't get to see many Oregon games. So that's basically it with that. I mean,
The ball lands in the hands of Landry.
so I didn't have enough prior knowledge until I did my research today. And from what I saw and read, I like him a lot. I think he's a very solid overall prospect, and I think he has he has probably the second or third most
Down and 10.
upside in this draft class.
Has the reception all alone.
But let's just get into the pros and cons. My first pro, he is versatile. I believe that he can play any position on the defensive front seven, and he will do it very well. I think obviously you can line him up with his hand in the dirt at defensive end or standing at defensive end and let him rush the passer, or even play to run. More on that in a bit. He can, he can move inside and play defensive tackle and play to run there. He could play, not offense. He could play defensive tackle and rush the passer. Put him at outside linebacker, drop him into coverage, and let him drop into coverage, run past the rush the passer from the outside linebacker position, or even throw him inside. Again, drop him into coverage, blitz him on certain plays. God, I cannot talk now.
First down at the 16.
So, I think he's very versatile. He can play any position in the front seven that you really can teach him how to. Next is strength. I think he plays strong because obviously he is strong. Has a lot of strength that he plays with. He uses his size to his advantage most of the time by using his strength and his size to get under people and rip through his blocks better. That's by transitioning into his block shedding. I think he, again, uses his size, his hands, and his quickness for his size very well in pass rushing and in run defense.
Dolphins know to win in the NFL, you got to pick up third downs. It doesn't matter how you do it. Third and short, they go with the pass. Not executed very well.
Sorry about that.
Now it's fourth down. The kick is good.
But I think that
There's
he
nothing
uses
like
his
being
size,
ahead in the
his
football game,
surprising
no matter
speed,
how
in
many
my
points
opinion,
it
for his
is,
size,
because now you can
being
manage it in a
6'7",
different way,
290
even though it's
pounds.
early in this game, and
He
you
uses
make
his
the other
size and
team come
speed
after you.
to incredible, use to his advantage. Again, I cannot talk today. I feel like an idiot.
The Buccaneers are going to line up. Close game, second quarter. The score's 3-0.
Now I lost my train of thought. Okay, his run defense.
First down
For
at the
being
38.
primarily a pass rusher, in my personal opinion, I think he is very good in the run defense. I think there are certain players in the NFL that are great pass rushers but aren't the best run defenders.
But a good play there in another
And, you know, those are some guys that you may not
Winston's gonna
see
take it
on
from
the
gun.
run defend plays.
Vincent Jackson
They
with
do
the
this with
catch.
linebackers sometimes where they'll switch in a better coverage guy on, you know, a passing down like 3rd and 10, 3rd and like 8-ish. You'll see them switch in a guy who's a much better, you know, coverage man at the linebacker position sometimes. And I don't think you have to do that with him, moving him out for run defense, because he'll play it well. And lastly, his motor. He's not going to take many plays off, and when he does take those plays off, I think that he'll still make an effort at the play, even when he does take them off. Meaning, when he takes a play off, he's still going to push the pocket on a run play or take up a hole on a he's still going to, God, dude, I cannot think.
Takes down the quarterback.
That's an excellent
He's
job.
still going to take up a lane in the run game, and he's still going to try and push the pocket. Again, but I don't think he's going to try and set the blocks. But that's what I mean when he takes plays off. But when he does, it's he still gives it an effort.
As we near halftime, the scoreboard says it all.
And all right.
A big, bold 0 on the
There it is.
scoreboard for that team as the
Those are my
defense
pros.
has completely frustrated
Now let's get into the
Bill.
cons.
Wouldn't surprise me to see the
My
coach
first
go
con
in
is
halftime
he'll
and
stand
make
up
some
straight
changes
sometimes
on the
inside of
offensive
the
side.
when he's
So,
rushing the passer.
man, if you're lucky enough to
Again, he
survive
won't get
halftime,
under the
you
blocker
better come out
and
play a
rip
lot
through
better
him
in the
like
third
that.
quarter.
He'll
The
sometimes
Dolphins
stand up
offense takes
straight
the
and try and
field
use
after
his
putting
strength a
together
bit more.
Nice drive on their last possession. They
So
were
that's
finally
something that he'll
stopped
need to
short
be
of the
more
end zone,
less
had to settle for
less
the field goal.
consistent doing, because he does do it quite a bit sometimes. But again, him being just a much more physical overall player, he was able to overpower some of the competition at the college level. But I think some of the guys in the NFL will not be able to overpower it so easy, so he's going to have to use his wide frame, wide frame, whatever you want to say.
First down at the 34.
But he's going to have to use that to get under his his offensive tackles, so he's going again. He's going to have to learn how to use that to his advantage better and be less consistent at standing up straight. Next, he's not as quick as you would think coming around the edge. He'll sometimes be a little bit slower than expected coming around the edge, meaning he won't be able to get pressure on the quarterback. Sometimes the quarterback will have the ball thrown. So I think he just has to improve his speed coming off the edge against tackles and be able to get around him just a little bit quicker. And lastly, not a real con, I guess, but I believe that he has to continue to develop as a player. I think that if he continues to develop as a player, he will develop into one of, if not the best player in this draft class. I'd say maybe the second or third best player in this draft class if he develops properly. So we will see, but I think he just has to continue to develop and continue to learn how to play the game at the best level he possibly can. But those are my pros and cons. Overall, a highly positive review on my part. I think that he is definitely one of the better players in this draft class.
punt the football away.
But
that's the right decision.
I think that Joey Bosa is a more day one pro-ready player, only based on the fact that he just has a bit more experience and he won't have to take some time to develop as much. So, again, said in my Bosa video, I don't like saying top 5 picks. It's subjective. It's all opinionated. But I do like to say top 10. I think that's a lot more concrete than top 5. So, I think top 10 pick. My teams of interest include the Cleveland Browns. Again, this is a team that needs contributors at every single position. And I think he'll step in day one and be a solid contributor in the AFC North, which has 3 extremely good quarterbacks in Ben Roethlisberger, Andy Dalton, and Joe Flacco. 3 guys that are going to throw the ball around the field if you don't get a good pass rush on them. So that's something that's obviously going to be needed in the AFC North. But Cleveland also has a lot more glaring needs, especially at probably the biggest position in the game, the quarterback position.
By the defensive player.
Next, I have San Diego. Kind of the same thing with Cleveland. They need contributors at a lot of positions. I think this is a team that should prioritize the offensive line more than the defense currently, because their biggest, their only way they're going to win at this point is keeping Phillip Rivers upright and letting Phil Rivers throw the ball around the field the whole time, pretty much. So I think they should definitely go offensive line. If not, they're obviously going to go with a defensive end or even a defensive back. I think Buckner is probably going to be the best player on the board available at 3 if they decide not to go offensive line. So we will see. Next, I have Dallas. I currently have Dallas taking Joey Bosa. So again, this is all based on if Dallas prefers God Almighty. I can't talk. This is all based upon if Dallas prefers Bosa or Buckner over Bosa. So
that's what you want to do.
We will see, but I think Dallas can definitely take him. I think Dallas doesn't really need many needs except for maybe a very, very good pass rusher. I think Buckner could be that guy now and into the future.
The Dolphins snap it at the 36.
So we will see.
Looking across the middle.
Next, I have Baltimore. Kind of the same reasons with Cleveland, except
second down.
Mostly, I think this is a pick where they can stand him up and play him outside linebacker. Learn from Terrell Suggs, and he could be a very good outside, using his height much more to his advantage at the outside linebacker position, using his height to disrupt passes, get his hands up, pass rush off the edge. I think that he could definitely play outside linebacker, and I think that's probably what Baltimore would do with him.
And of course, this quarterback, he is always ready to go.
Tannehill's completion percentage 70% on the day.
Next I have Philadelphia. I think Philadelphia is probably going to try and find a bell cow running back. That's probably going to be Ezekiel Elliott. But overall, I think Philadelphia should definitely try to at least figure that their defense should need some help, as it wasn't one of the best units last year. It was maybe okay at best. So I think Philadelphia should definitely try and improve their pass rush. Again, in the NFC East, one of the quarterbacks out the ass in that division, Romo, Cousins, and whoever. Romo, Cousins, and Manning. 3 very good quarterbacks. All of them have solid offensive lines, except for maybe the Giants, and even then, they have an okay offensive line. So, I think that they obviously need to bring in someone who could rush the passer and get in the faces of those 3 big-name quarterbacks in the division. And lastly, the team on your screen, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa can definitely go offensive line and again make this pick, you know, just seems stupid. But I think that their offensive line played well enough that they don't need to prioritize it at their number one draft selection. I think they should go best player available, and if he falls to them, DeForest Buckner would be that guy. Line him up across from William Golson and Gerald McCoy, one of the best interior linemen in the game. So I obviously think that he'd be a good fit in Tampa Bay. But with new head coach Dirk Coker, or whatever his name is, the offensive coordinator, they can obviously prioritize the offense, but if he's smart, I think he'd get another bookend offensive tackle or defensive end who can be a guy for years to come and the guy for the right now. But I believe that with the 9th overall pick in the 2016 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will select DeForest Buckner. I believe this because I think the offensive line players in this class are solid all the way up until maybe third-round prospects. I think they all can either be contributors now or in the future. So I believe that they should go best player available, that being DeForest Buckner. In this situation, they get a bookend defensive end who can be there for years to come, across from William Golson, who played surprisingly well, I guess I could say. And next to Gerald McCoy in the inside, who is one of the best pass rushing defensive tackles and extremely good against the run. But that's why I think. So coming up next will be Shaq Lawson from Clemson, and after that will be Kevin Dodd. So excited for that. Two guys from Clemson. So we will see. But let's try and, I don't even know if I want to finish this game at this point. I don't think I am. So for now, this is J-Wax.
Now we reach the 2-minute warning.
Signing off.